Okay, we're recording. We're live on Facebook. It's a wonderful day. Everybody in my house has the flu, except for me. I'm probably going down next. Okay, we're getting ready to start, or we are starting, so I'm just going to check this one more time. Give me a yes if you can hear my voice. Just if you're on the Zoom webinar, you have a little chat. Can you type in a yes or raise your hand and just let me know? Awesome. And how about, can you see my screen? Give me a yes or raise your hand. Yes, yes, yes. I need another yes. Awesome. Cool. So let me get rid of some stuff here. Okay, I'm good. Everybody's good. So today I'm very excited because I can hardly take it anymore. We're rolling out something cool and new. We've been testing it since November, and I can't even wait to share this with you guys. But I'm going to have to wait a little while longer. So today we're going to talk about filling the funnel and feeding the future, the home care journey from prospect to client. And this is probably the most amazing thing we've done in a long, long time, and I'm super proud of our staff. Introduction. So I'm Valerie Van Boeven, co-owner of LTC Expert Publications, and my business partner is George Novison. I am in St. Louis, George is in Boston, and we actually have more team members than this now, but these are our original primary team members. Dawn, if you're a client of ours, you've probably talked to one or many of these people, Dawn and Jennifer and Kyle and Giselle and Brenda and Melanie and Bob and Scott, and probably more to come. So, and we have several writers that I haven't listed here, but this is our team, and we are very lucky to have this amazing team of people who make stuff happen for our clients every single day. And we've grown to just me and one other person, to 10 of us plus writers. So it's been a great ride. So we are 10 years in the business of marketing online for primarily home care agencies. You can throw lots of other senior services in there. We have a huge mix of people in all different areas of senior services, but non-medical home care and home health care are our primary clients. We do assisted living, care management, you name it. We've probably had a little bit of everything in there. All of our clients are located in the US or Canada. So today we're going to talk about funnels. Now, there's been a lot of me talking about funnels lately, but the reality is that since last November, we have been doing a beta test with some of our clients who are brave enough to go down this journey with us. And so today I'm going to introduce all of that to you and show you a little bit about what I'm talking about. So first of all, let's start with, what is a funnel? You probably have heard of this, but all consumer journeys follow a pattern. So I like to use this analogy. I did not make this up. Someone else made this up. But oftentimes when we're going down the path of making a big decision about a purchase, or any purchase for that matter, we go through a series of phases. We are on the sidewalk, then we're in the slow lane, then we're in the fast lane. So my analogy would be, if you're in the market to buy a car, or let's say you're not in the market to buy a car, you know that if you just bought a car, or you just, it's not something that you're worried about right now, you're on the sidewalk. You know that you can buy a car, you know that it exists, you know that there are new models coming out all the time, you know that your friend has a cool car, but you're not really in the market for a car. So you're on the sidewalk. This is nothing about this interests you at the moment. You just are aware of it. And then at some point, that check engine light starts coming on once in a while, and you think, ugh, this car isn't going to last very much longer. And you start going down the path of being in the slow lane. So you know something's wrong, but you're not sure what it is. And you've had the car fixed a few times, but it keeps failing here and there. It keeps requiring more and more maintenance. And so now you're in the slow lane. You're thinking, man, oh man, this car's probably not going to make it through the winter. I'm going to have to buy a new car. And you start doing some research and you start looking around. And of course, now you see stuff everywhere. You know, before you weren't even noticing any ads on TV or on the radio or on the internet. Now every time you turn around, there's an ad for cars. Maybe you even go look at some cars on a Sunday when there are no salespeople around. So that's when you're kind of in the slow lane. You're in the research phase. And then the fast lane is when you are ready to buy. That check engine light came on for the last time. So I remember I loved my first Toyota Camry. Oh, my very favorite car in the whole world. And I remember the last time the check engine light came on, and it probably had close to 200,000 miles on it. And I called Charlie and I said, I think this is it, buddy. I can't do this anymore. The car's not safe to drive. I'm going to have to go buy a car. And sure enough, I went and bought another Toyota Camry shortly thereafter. So that's when you're in the fast lane. Things have to happen pretty quickly. We're not fooling around anymore. Things have become unsafe, or you just, you've had it with the repairs or whatever. So that is the journey that most of our decisions follow. Sometimes it's a lot faster, sometimes it's slower, but this is the funnel that we're going to talk about today. So now we're going to talk about that with regard to the consumer journey for home care or senior care services. So everything I talk about relates back and forth for any senior service, basically. But we're going to talk about this in the context of deciding on home care. So let's talk about parts of the home care marketing funnel. So when people are on the sidewalk about home care, they may have an aging loved one, a parent, someone in their life. They have had friends whose parents or maybe themselves have used home care. Maybe they've had surgery. Maybe they've, have any kind of experience. But they know home care exists. They have no direct experience with it, so it's never really happened to them. And they might start looking slightly at resources, maybe, but usually they're just on the sidewalk. They know that maybe a family friend has had some issues. So they're starting down this road of realizing that this exists and that people are often looking for this kind of solution. So that's when your prospects are on the sidewalk. They're not ready to pull the trigger by any stretch of the imagination. They don't even have the need yet, but they're very aware that this exists. So when people are on the sidewalk, they're looking at your website, they're looking at Facebook. Most often they're probably seeing a lot of this stuff coming from their friends on social media who are having the experience, who are in the midst of a crisis with someone who has cancer or hospice or just aging in general. And they might start looking at your website, or they might start looking at your content. So they're really not interested in anything for themselves yet. Or their family, but they know that you are out there, or people like you are out there. Their friends are having this kind of issue. So let's talk about your website for a minute. If you notice, I said they're looking at your website, and they're looking at your Facebook, your social media, and they're looking at your content. So now we're going to talk about what that means. When people are looking at your website, and I want you to really try to think about this from the perspective of someone else, not yourself. I'm just going to say this because I say this all the time. I have to say this. If your cousin or someone who does this as a side hustle created your website 5 years ago, it is time for you to have a new website. It is not okay to have the same website you've had by someone who's not a professional web developer and still in business. It's completely outdated, and this is the very first way in 2019 that people are going to experience you. And if your website is janky, I use janky all the time. Janky means, goofy, goofball, bad, whatever. If your website is janky, and you can tell, look at this website on the screen here. This is not a janky website. If your website looks janky in comparison to this one, then you need to have some redirection on the website, rebuild. So your website needs to have a call to action. You see the call to action at the top of this website, the top of your screen there, that big picture is what it looks like on a desktop. Of course, I had to make it really small to fit on the slide, but that's sort of the top. That's above the scroll line. That's what you see if you're on a desktop. You can see there's a call to action at the top. Proudly serving Los Angeles and Ventura County. Calls 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 3 phone numbers, hiring opportunities, click here for service. All right there. You do not have to guess at anything about this website or who they service or where they're located or how to get a hold of them. Boom, 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 right there. Contact information right there. Service area right there at the top. Easy navigation. You can see this is a very clean website. There aren't 400 things to click on. There are only a few things in the navigation bar there. Home, about us, our services, get started, frequently asked questions, news, careers, and contact us. It is mobile responsive and clean. So if you look at the picture below, that is what it looks like from my cell phone. That's on an Android or an iPhone. If I am if I'm at the bedside of my mother who's being discharged from rehab because she fell and broke her hip, chances are, if a social worker handed me a list of companies, I'm looking at websites on my phone. So you have to make sure your website looks amazing on a phone. It cannot look bad on a phone because this is the first impression people are having of you. So it needs to be clean and fast loading. It needs to be updated. You don't want to have old janky stuff from 2012 on your 2019 website. Get rid of it. It's over. It's old. Blog content. You need to have fresh, clean blog content. What I mean is fresh new articles that are written with search engine optimization and the reader in mind. So you need to make sure you have that. And of course, SEO. Everybody's heard of SEO. Search engine optimization means that your website on the front and on the back tells people where you're located, tells Google where you're located, what you do, what your services are. You need to have it completely search engine optimized from by someone who understands that from a home care perspective and from a consumer perspective who might be visiting your website. Okay, so this is important. When people are on the sidewalk, they start getting introduced to you by other people on accident most of the time. And then Facebook. Now, this kind of is there's no good way to screenshot Facebook anymore. This is a mobile view of a Facebook business page. Now, so you can't see very much because I can't fit the whole thing on the screen, but your Facebook page, you need to have fans. You need to have likes. So if you look at right below the blue button that says send message, it shows 3 little pictures there. And so there's LaShawn, Dina, Valerie, and 423 others like this. Now this is me logged in so I can see myself and my friends who also have liked this page. And 423 others. You should have 1,000 others that like this page. If you have 15 people or 20 people or 40 people who have liked your page, you need to up your game on Facebook. And the only way to get people to like your page, other than asking friends and family, is to pay for it, but it's cheap. So you need to gather your local fans, and you do not ever want to buy 7,000, 10,000, 15,000 likes off of Fiverr because they will all be from Malaysia, and that will not help you. You need to do it the right way and make sure that people in a 50-mile radius of your office are liking your page, and it's not that expensive. You can do this. $100 a month will get you to 1,000 likes within just a couple of months, or a few months. I shouldn't say a few months. So you want to make sure people are liking your page so that you look like you have authority, expertise, you're busy. You also want to have content. You need to have good content. Monday through Friday, 1 post a day or 2. And so what we do this for our clients all the time. We have posts going up Monday through Friday, plus blog content from their website, plus videos, plus all kinds of other stuff. You need to have some videos. I know everybody's like, I have no idea how to make a video. I am not making a video. I'm not going to be in a video. You know what? You can go to Animoto and make videos all day long. You do not have to be in the video. But they need to be short, easy, fast, and to the point. Reviews. If you have good reviews, ask for more good reviews on your Facebook business page. Engage with people. If somebody leaves a comment or likes your page or likes a post, comment, say something, be visible to people on your Facebook business page. You can use your Facebook business page for recruiting. You should absolutely be doing that. It does work in some areas not so much. But if you're willing to spend $10 a day for recruiting ads, which is going to equate $300 a month, by the way, then you can put up ads that are specific to a zip code to recruit, and that is really nice. Blog posts, you should have content coming from your website to your Facebook business page. You should be answering messages. So if people reach out to you on your Facebook business page, you should be answering them, which means somebody has to check in every day and see if there's any new messages. And community outreach, every single thing you do out there in that community should make it to this Facebook business page one way or the other. So Facebook is important. So we're talking about so far your website and your social media that need to be up to date when people are on the sidewalk. They are looking at you and getting to know you, whether you know that or not. Okay, let's talk about when people are in the slow lane. When people are in the slow lane, they know something is slightly off and they're not ready to approach the subject with their family member yet. So this is the part where people have taken a few falls, maybe somebody had a stroke, maybe they're having some memory issues, and the research by this adult child of the aging parent or friend or family member is starting to get more intense. They're looking around at things. They're starting to fill out forms, and you know what forms they're filling out? The ones that are on the internet that say, find help in cost of care now. I'm going to show you more about that in a second. They're starting to fill out forms to get more information. They're starting to look at local resources. They're starting to look at what's free, what Medicare pays for, and they're starting to learn that Medicare does not pay for non-medical home care. So they're in the slow lane. They're getting that information and they're collecting, their brain is collecting info on what they're going to do when they get to the next phase. So in the slow lane, everybody's looking at your website, everybody's looking at Facebook. They probably have filled out a form somewhere. You want to get them on your e-newsletter list. They are in a research phase. They'll probably fill out some forms, maybe the one on your website, and they're looking at your content. So if they know someone else has used you, or they find you in search engine results, or they see your ad on Facebook, they are going to now start looking a little bit deeper into who they might trust the most, or who they think has, and all they can tell at this point is what you look like. They really are kind of judging a book by its cover. That's why it's so important that your website is awesome and that your Facebook looks amazing, because you need to make sure that when they are trying to make a decision that you've put your best face forward and you are blowing them out of the water with all of the community outreach stuff that you're doing, with all of the engagement you have on your Facebook business page. These people are on their phones. So make sure your stuff looks great on mobile. You should have an e-newsletter once a month. If you don't, you need to start having one. Your email list is one of your greatest assets. So please, please, please make sure that all of these things are up to date and ready to roll when people are in the slow lane. So they're doing consumer research, they're looking at your testimonials, your content, your reviews, they're finding out what the cost of care is, they're asking questions about the process. What is the process of starting home care? What should I be watching for? And they're looking at frequently asked questions. So these are all the things that are happening when people are in the slow lane. So now we're in the fast lane and people are in crisis. This is it. This is when mom has fallen and broken her hip. She's had a stroke. She's being discharged from rehab. So this is when they need help ASAP. Discharge is happening. We're already home and we're not doing well at home. Or the caregiver is sick or gets burned out on this whole thing. So the fast lane means they are in crisis. They go to your website, they pick up the phone and make a call, or they're filling out your forms. So this has to be all in order when people are in the fast lane and they're in crisis. This is what you want to make sure they have access to instantly. All right, so they're trying to make a decision at that point. Are you my choice? Are you my hero? Are you my problem solver? Are you going to take care of this for me because we are in a crisis now and we need help? That is what people are wondering and looking at. And I wanted to just show you this. This is everything we just talked about. Your website, your Facebook and social media, and the consumer research portion of this. Notice that throughout this entire web of things that people are trying to navigate through, your testimonials and your content are so important throughout this whole piece. So your blog posting and all the reviews and testimonials, you need to gather those. Make sure they're on your website, they're on your Facebook, they're everywhere someone might look to see how trustworthy you are. And your content, make sure you're always providing online content, whether that's on Facebook or a blog post or whatever it is. So throughout every piece of this cycle, people want to see content and they want to see testimonials and reviews. So important. That's what I wanted to point out on this. Every part of the funnel includes those items. So the must-haves in 2019, you have to have a website with blog. If it doesn't have a blog, you need to talk to somebody and get one installed and start putting content on it. And if you don't know how to do that, or you don't have a website that offers that, or you're a franchise owner and you can't do that, then please reach out to us because we have ways we can help with that. If you don't have a great website, reach out to us. We develop home care websites every day of the week. If you need fresh content, which you must have, reach out to us. We have 6 writers who write content for us every single week in droves. Social media, testimonials, any newsletter. These are the things that you must have in 2019 in order to be seen on the internet in every single phase of that cycle. So all of these things we provide. If you need any help with those, please let me know. We can definitely help with that. That is something I want you to, that's the very basic part of online marketing for home care. Okay, let's talk about home care leads. This is the part that's so exciting. And let's talk about the myth versus the reality of home care leads. It's so interesting to me. So here's a myth. If I buy exclusive or even non-exclusive home care leads, I will get more clients in the next 2 to 3 weeks. That is a total myth. There are some people who swear by buying home care leads. But I will tell you right now that they have a long-term process in place. And they also have good funding. So, and they're good closers. So the people who have good success with home care leads also have a bunch of other things behind them that are working really well. It's not just that they pick up the phone and they have a new client. That's not how this works. So that is the myth. The reality is most of us have been taught what we think should happen is that every time we get a lead, those leads are in the fast lane. But unfortunately, leads that are in the fast lane are the most competitive to get. They're the most expensive. If you're paying $50 a pop for a non-exclusive lead, they cause the highest frustration and they have the highest failure rate. So we've been taught to believe that every time we buy home care leads, that all of those people who fill out those forms are in the fast lane. And they're not. These people are not here. They're not here. There may be 1 out of 50 that are here, but you have to spend a lot of money to get that 1 out of 50. So the reality is that 90% of the home care leads that y'all are buying are anywhere in this funnel. They could be anywhere. They could be on the sidewalk or probably at the very top of the slow lane. So what we know to be true from mature home care agency owners who have done this for a long time, we know that that people are at the very top of that slow lane. They're not in the fast lane. They are not ready to buy today. So the mature home care agency owners who've been around the block will tell us that they develop a relationship and a dialogue with these people. They reach out so they can be their senior care expert down the road. They stay top of mind by setting them up in an email system and dripping on them with different emails, an e-newsletter. And of course, once they do that and they get set up, 6 months from now, they are the first call when that person hits the fast lane. These people have already developed a relationship with someone at that home care agency, and this is the person they're going to call when it really comes down to it. So this is the reality of where home care leads are. So instead of paying $50 each for leads that start at the top of the funnel with no plan to nurture them, think about a different method. Change your mindset about where these people are. So my recommendation is this. Put a nurturing program in place and close them as they work their way down the funnel. So as they work their way from the bottom of the sidewalk or the top of the slow lane all the way down to the fast lane, put a plan in place to stay with them through that entire journey. It's a better investment. You get better results, but it is a longer time commitment because we don't know how long it's going to take for someone to get from the top of this slow lane right here all the way down to emergency. We need help right now. You don't know. That could be a year, 2 years. It could be 6 months. It could be 3 months. It could be 2 weeks. It could vary greatly. But the more you fill that funnel, the more they start dripping out at the bottom. So this is the way the funnel kind of should look. You got at the top of your funnel, you've got your Facebook, your website, you've got Google search results, your email list, your referral sources, your e-newsletter, your in-person networking, and you start with the prospect here. Try to catch them somewhere where they're still on the sidewalk or at the bottom of the sidewalk. They're hitting the slow lane. Stay with them. Stay with them through the slow lane and be there when they arrive here in the fast lane. If you can start doing that now, a year from now, you will have people who have been with you for a very long time starting to be clients of yours. It happens like this in every business. It happens in my business. People will say, I've been following you for years and we're just now getting to this. Great, that's awesome. We have been around for a long time. You have to start now. So how do you get more prospects here though? This is the question that everybody's been wanting the answer to. How do I get more people to inquire and get on my list who are kind of in the role of needing care or looking at care and they're hitting that slow lane? I need more of these. How do I get these? Because I've got all this stuff going, or maybe I should get all this stuff going, and I can do that, but how do I get the most prospects right in here? So I'm going to show you that. This is what we've been doing since November, and we've been working on since November, and every single day it gets better and better. So we put together something called the Senior Care Inquiry Pipeline. And I say, fill the funnel, feed the future. And that's where that came from. You fill your funnel at the top, right here, all these people. Not every single one of them is ever going to close, but as they make their way through the funnel, you start with lots and lots and lots of consumers in your local area, and you stay with them and you drip on them and you become part of their email and you send them their newsletter and they can call you if they have questions. Eventually, they're going to come out right here at the bottom. They're going to become your clients. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about this and a little bit about what we're doing just so you can see. There is nothing anyone can do today. The launch date is actually 1 month from now on March 26, 2019. And so I'm going to show you what it's all about, or at least pieces and parts of it. And hopefully you'll be along for the ride with us on March 26. So we have a website called Approved Senior Network. It's approvedseniornetwork.com. You can go there today. You can't do anything there. You can't do anything at all there. But eventually you will be able to. We are in the midst of transitioning that website right now. It's been a long haul, but that is what's happening. So we have approvedseniornetwork.com, and that is the basis for how this program works to fill your funnel from the very top. So build your local senior care inquiry pipeline. These inquiries are from consumers at all levels of the funnel, from the sidewalk to the fast lane and everything in between, and they're all in your territory. We nurture them online for you with rich, relevant information using many strategies. So we use Facebook, we use email, we might use texting at some point. We use all kinds of different ways. We give them things, free stuff that about your local area that they're looking for. It works amazingly well. You are positioned as the local Approved Senior Network expert and as a resource that people should contact for direction and guidance. And together we develop inquiries into leads, but that means you have to nurture them long term. You can't give up on somebody the day after you call them and say, hey, what's going on? And they say, no, not right now. You have to nurture these people. They're not in a place where they're going to pull the trigger tomorrow, but they're yours. They're yours. They're in your pipeline. They're on your newsletter list. They receive 30 days of drip emails from you. So it's awesome. It's a great plan. And what we've had some of our clients do is we've got about 20 different agencies in this program right now. And what has happened is some of them have asked for not just home care kind of inquiries or senior care inquiries, but assisted living inquiries. And that works just as well too. And what they're doing is not only calling upon those assisted living inquiries, but they're sharing those inquiries with their assisted living marketing partners and saying, you know what, these people asked about some assisted living stuff, and they're not really ready for home care. If you'd like to follow up with them, you're more than, here they are. Here's 5, people that might be ready to do a tour of your assisted living facility. What do you think would happen if you walked into an assisted living facility and handed them 5 leads, and you did that once a month or once a week? Chances are they would be really happy with you, especially if you're very consistent about that. So there's all kinds of different marketing ideas and ways you can use these inquiries. But building your pipeline, your funnel from the very top with tons and tons and tons of inquiries from people, and I can't give away every secret, but from people who are requesting information, leads to you closing more business down the road. Feed your future. Okay, this is just a very basic look. In fact, I did this 2 weeks ago, so these numbers are a little outdated already. So these are sample results. I don't guarantee anything, but what I know is that our current clients that are participating have had some pretty interesting results. They're all in different territories across the U.S. The earliest people started mid-November of last year. So, for instance, we have a client in Arizona who was, when she was live for 21 days, she had already had 34 inquiries. A client that was live for 90 days had 148 inquiries. Live for 90 days in New Jersey, 130 inquiries. In Missouri, 28 days live, 100 inquiries. Ohio, 28 days live, 121 inquiries. Days live in Washington, the state of Washington, 93 days live, 93 inquiries. We actually added some questions to one of the forms, so that slowed down the inquiries. This is no joke, but and I will tell you that these are not people who are ready for home care this very second. You have to understand that this is filling your pipeline. So all of these people grew their newsletter list and grew their inquiry list and grew their lead list by 148, by 130, by 100, and they will continue to follow up with these people for as long as the people stay on their list. And eventually, all of these folks are going to go from that slow lane where they're doing a little research into that fast lane where somebody in their life is going to need care. So we're filling the funnel, but we're feeding the future. This is a very inexpensive way to get your funnel full as compared to $50 per lead for a non-exclusive lead. So just wanted you to kind of see these results. Again, these people are not, here, let me answer this question. Has business closed from this effort? And the answer is yes. Not in droves, but yes. Since November, business has closed. No one's a millionaire. This isn't going to make you a millionaire overnight. So what's next? Launch to everyone will be March 26, 2019. We will roll this out. We'll have another webinar similar to this, but we'll go in depth into all the things that we'll be doing. Here are the criteria to participate. If you want to participate, must be one of our clients. You have to be in one of our community content programs. There is no way around that. We don't just sell this by itself, because all the things I mentioned earlier about your websites and about your Facebook, all of that has to be relevant and up to date for this to work. You cannot have a janky website and a janky Facebook and expect any of this to work. It's not gonna happen. You have to have a monthly newsletter. You have to have a bunch of things in place so that when you go down this road, you're ready. You're ready to be seen. You must be able to commit to 3 to 6 months in our program, and you must understand the lead nurturing concept, meaning that these people are not starting out in a position where they want home care today. You may find a few of those golden nuggets in there, but for the most part, these folks are heading down a path where they know they're going to need care pretty soon, or someone in their life will, but that path could be 6 months, it could be a year, it could be 2 weeks. You just don't know where they might be coming from. So the only thing you can do right now is get on my first in line list. If you think this is something that you want to know more about, that you want to consider, that you want to go down the road with us, I am happy to put you on the list. You will learn more about the whole program if you get on our list. You'll learn more about territories. You'll learn more about radius. You'll learn more about cost. You'll learn more about all of that. If you want to get on the list, I call it the first in line list because it'll sell out. And if you want, we will have to do it first come, first serve. So if you want to get on the list, and by the way, we do all of this stuff for you. You do not have to do anything but maybe make phone calls if you would like to have your staff or yourself make phone calls to these folks. You do not have to do the drip campaigns by yourself or the newsletters. That is all taken care of. Not only that, but we make it rain, and then we fulfill everybody's needs. And as far as the content and as far as drip campaigns, we do all that stuff. So if you want to get on our list, go to ltcsocialmark.com/FIL, first in line. ltcsocialmark.com/FIL, which is first in line. There's no dashes, no nothing, just FIL. So go there, fill out the little form. You don't have to do anything. It's just getting you on our list for what's coming down the road March 26th. All right, so that is what is coming. Does anybody have any questions about anything that I might have talked about today? The funnel, the content that you need to have, websites, anything about the program that I can answer today, I will. If you have questions, all you have to do is type it in the chat area. So there's a little chat area in the, let's see, chat. Yes, everybody wants to know what the cost of the program will be. So that is, and I'm not going to answer that question directly on this webinar because this webinar is going to go out to a lot of people. So the cost is dependent on what program you're in with us. This is not for beginners. This is not for startups. This is not for those of you who are on shaky ground financially. I understand that when you're new, this is something that you would want to be an established home care agency, probably in business for at least a year, have fairly good average or significant amount of billing hours underneath your belt. And this is something you can easily afford. You can stop your Google ads, you can stop your other stuff, and you can do this instead. So you might have to turn something off and enable this, but you're not going to have to. It's not going to be for somebody who's really just barely making it. So you need to be an established home care agency in order to afford this. It's not thousands of dollars every month, no, but it's going to be a significant marketing budget in order to afford it. And it's not $50 a lead, I can tell you that too. So it's not even close to that. In fact, some of our we have ads that run, and sometimes it's between $3 and $11 per lead form, but that isn't the cost of the entire program. So it just depends on your area and a bunch of other stuff. So having said that, if you have any other questions though about Approved Senior Network, when that Approved Senior Network website goes live in its final form, which should be in the next couple of weeks, I would encourage you to go back there, and I'll send a note to everybody and sign up for a free listing. So get yourself on there at least for free. If you're in our program, you get an automatic expert level listing. So if you know you're going to sign up with us to do some business, then please do not sign up for a free listing, or you can, but we'll upgrade you automatically to expert on there because you have to be an expert on our approved senior network website in order to participate in this program, because all the inquiries will come to you. So anybody else have questions? Anybody else have questions? Anybody need questions answered about content or websites or advertising? Are we good? Okay, I want you to go to ltcsocialmark.com and go to /FIL, first in line. Of course, we have opportunities in the West Tennessee area. Absolutely. So if you want to know if your area is available, you can certainly ask me here. I can't answer that stuff. So first, ltcsocialmark.com /FIL, first in line, and we'll get you on our list. Now, when you do that, just know that my colleague, Bob Costello, is going to reach out to you. He will call and email you to give you the details. Not today, not tomorrow probably, but in the next couple of weeks, he's going to be reaching out to you, and he's going to want to talk to you. And you cannot join the program without talking to Bob. How long does a typical website take to develop? And that depends on you. I'm saying 4 weeks to 6 weeks, but if you're slow to return your content to us, then it'll take a lot longer. So I say 4 weeks, but that's if our client is on top of it, they get their information to us quickly, they know what they want, they're not fooling around, then in 4 weeks. If you fool around and you're not getting your content back to us, it could take as long as you want it to take. So we're very fast. Okay, so has everybody gone to ltcsocialmark.com /FIL? If you have, then you've done the right thing. And I would imagine that we've got some people on our Facebook Live too. I will go back through and answer any questions you might have on our Facebook Live after this recording is over. Thank you everybody so much. I'm so excited. March 26th is the day. Please get on our list before March 26th, because after March 26th, it's going to be crazy and long, and it will sell out. Thanks everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Get on the list, FIL, ltcsocialmark.com /FIL. Bye.